Hello and welcome to a tutorial that's going to introduce you to a couple tools in Illustrator that will allow you to build out ribbon banners where you have type and a banner and it's conforming to a variety of shapes. So to get started, let's take a look. My workspace, this is the important thing to start out with, is this set of tools is not the basic tools. This is the advanced tools, and it's very easy to get to. You just go to Window, and under Toolbars, it will default to basic, but we want advanced. And that's because there's a couple tools in here that we need to do this assignment, and they're front and center if you select the advanced toolbar. So that's what you want to start out with. You want to make sure that you have a white fill and a black stroke set here. And then in properties, let's just start out by hitting M. Just touch M on your keyboard to get to the rectangle tool. And we're going to just recreate this basic shape first, and then we're going to move it through a number of settings, 3 different settings in the warp area. And if this doesn't make sense, just hang in there, it will. So I'm going to create this box, and I'm trying to basically kind of replicate what I did earlier. So this is kind of this ribbon that I'm building. So now that I've got that, I'm going to do Command, or on a PC, Control-C, Command or Control-V, and that just popped it over here. And then I want to actually go Object, Arrange. I want to send that behind, and then I'm going to grab this little point here in the middle of this box, and then as I creep it in here, because what I'm trying to do is just start out with a little bit of a tuck in where the ribbon's kind of bending. So now that I have this, and this is important, I never try and recreate something that matches twice. If I can make it once and copy it, okay? So this is, you need to think like a machine, like a manufacturer when you work in this stuff. Your ideas are great. Just let the computer be the one who executes them sometimes. So what you want to do is over here, I want to add a point at this kind of midpoint so I can pull this in to create this little area here. So I'm going to go here to this Add an Anchor Point tool, and I'm going to select that, and I'm just going to go over here and just kind of click to create a point. And now I'm going to go to my Direct Selection tool, and now I should be able to select that, and I like to hold down Shift so that it'll just keep it moving straight on. If I didn't, I could move it like this, but I want it to just move tuck in straight across. So now that I've got this built, before I copy it and clone it, let's see, I guess, yeah, we'll do, I'm sorry, I'm talking to myself. I'm going to get over here, and this tool is, this is interesting. The line segment tool is in this stack in advanced tool settings. Under basic tool settings, it's under the rectangle tool. So I just want to point that out. I don't know why they changed that, but in advanced, you need to get to this tool. Now this is going to continue to remember your settings here, okay? So now I'm just going to go over here, and it's going to, and I'm just going to pop it in over here, and I'm going to create this shape here. And now I'm going to select with my selection. I'm going to select everything, and I want to, you can do this from down here, you can group, you can also do this from up here to, let's see, object and group. It's saying ungroup because we already grouped it. Now I want to make sure it somehow wanted to move this up above. So I'm going to go back here and tell it, no, I want that in the back. Okay. So now all I have to do is, and this is important, we're going to do Command or Control C because we've copied it, but now we want to do Command or Control F like Frank because it made a duplicate slap dab on top of the original one. And then I'm going to go here, and the transform settings, usually when you select an object, this little dot will be in the middle, which just means that however you ask it to spin or shift, it's going to do that from the center of the object. So with that dot in the center, I'm just going to go boom. And now it's created a copy. I'm going to click it with my selection tool, and I'm going to hold down the Shift key because I just want to scoot it along. And let me see, this looks like maybe that's about right here. But what I can do now is I can hold down my mouse and just slip across those 2 beautiful ribbon ends. And these are just tricks because when you know these tricks, you can create things that are very precise. So it's like a contractor looking at an architect's plan, and the contractor's responsibility is to build it clean and accurately. So I'm going to group that, and then check this out. Now I'm going to select everything. I'm going to drag my mouse, hold my mouse down. These ribbon ends are grouped, and I'm just going to say, you know something? I want you to center that. Whoops. What did I do there? That wasn't good. I needed to select this. Whoa, okay. I need to group that. Okay, I did not group that. And now with that grouped and selecting everything. So these ends are grouped and that's got the center box. I should be able to ask it to center. And then it's nice and clean. Everything's working together. The last part of this is you get into your type tool and you can pick any font you want. I'm going to go, because banners are sometimes, well, they're quite often seen in like the Victorian era. They're getting rediscovered now, but I'm just going to pick something. I think I picked Trajan Bold, and I will go, I will type banner art. And then I'm going to, at this moment, because I want to scale it and move it around, I don't want to be like fussing with it. I'm just going to go up here and turn it into an object. I'm going to go to type and down here to create outlines. So now it's an object and I can kind of move it into place, and I can hold down my shift if I want to just scale it without skewing it. If I didn't hold down shift, it would distort it, it would stretch it and whatnot. So I'm going to kind of put it in there, and I'm going to hold down my mouse, sweep over everything and say, you know something, I want you to align this, I want you to center this, and then I want you to group it. So now everything's going to stay together. And now all you need to do is select this beautiful thing you built, Command C, Command V, pop this over here, because you want 3 copies of this. Command C, Command V, and pop it over here. And notice you get these little pop-ups that are, and if your software isn't set, I believe the default should be you get these little prompts where Illustrator is telling you, hello, I've detected there's some objects here. We can center them for you if you want. So now I'm going to just, oops. And if that ever happens, if you get in isolation mode, just go back. That's called isolation mode, and someone thought that was a cool thing. I don't really use it. So now I'm going to hold down shift just because I want to move this down. And I want one more, Command C or Control C, or Command or Control C, Command or Control V, and one more here. And now the last part of this assignment is just basically selecting this version, and you can see over here that I gave you the references for how I did this. Now, this isn't like marching orders, but I just thought it would be good to get you started out with some context for some basic conventional banners. So this one here is an arc at 50% horizontal. So how do I get that? I have that object selected, and I just go up to Effect, down here to Warp, and swing over here. It doesn't matter which one you select, because once you activate that window, you can change your choice. But for this one, it happens to be at the top of the stack. So I'm going to stick with arc, and I want this to be more like 50%, I believe. And this is like, you can experiment with this. This is not about a direct match on what I'm showing. It's just about you exploring how this works. So I click OK, and that looks pretty good. And notice, this is something that students need to really understand. Until you actually expand anything in Illustrator, all you're getting is a preview. And if you were to go up here and look at the view outline, you would see that it hasn't really rendered it. Now, I do want to tell you that I took my work and I turned it into a raster image, just so that students wouldn't be tempted just to copy and paste it. I know you wouldn't do that, but that was one of the reasons I did that, just to make sure that you actually get involved in this, building this out, because it's really fun. So if you want this to really be a vector piece of art, all you need to do is go up here to go to Object and Expand Appearance. And now it's all mapped out. And if we go to the X-ray machine, which is what I think it's called, you can go to View Outline, and you can see, sure enough, it's right there. Now, this is a bug in Illustrator, because while it's mapped out, it hasn't really mapped out all those stroke shapes. So if I wanted to, and let's go back here. This is an interesting thing. If I wanted to at any point to select these areas, I could get my direct selection tool, I guess. I could select on this, and I could change the stroke size. I could go fatter. But if you go for a second run through of that request to expand, or go check this out. If I do that again and go to expand, it's going to ask me something. It's going to say, Sarah, do you want me to expand that stroke shape and the fill, which is what it defaults to? And I'll go okay. And then now let's look at it in the X-ray machine. Go to view, outline, and we can see that it's really outlined the shape, the widths of that stroke. And we'll do this later, but you could really clean this up and use your shape builder to clean this up and join these shapes. But for now, let's just focus on the banners. Okay, so now you've got that, and now you've got this other banner you copied. Just select that, and we're going to do rise, a rise of 77% horizontal. So now that I have that object selected, I'm going to go to warp, and down here, hold down your mouse to rise. And I'm going to change this. You can just go in there. And again, you can do whatever you want. You could just toggle it and it's going to give you a preview. And if it's not giving you a preview, you need to check this. By default, these are usually checked, but if you're not seeing it, make sure you checked it. So that's this. And the last one is flag, which is, I think, quite beautiful. So you're going to select this and go up here to Effect and Warp, and we're going to go to flag. And I think I did that like 75%. And just, oh yeah, this is kind of nice. So really play around with this. I think that the best way for you to connect and learn to love this stuff is to play around with it. And note that this is set so that the horizontal is doing the warping. If I did vertical, I don't want that, right? And you could do distortion to make a part of it really get bigger, blah, blah, blah. But that's all up for you to experiment with. But for this lesson, we're going to do 0 on distortion, and we're just going to go with this. So that is the drill. And remember that if you wanted to send this to a laser cutter or vinyl cutter, the vinyl cutter would not know how to create this unless you expanded this work. So circle back and watch the video again to see what I did in this version to create that. So I look forward to seeing your work and have fun making banners.